Hello, how are you doing? Right, something a little bit different this week. I've mentioned that I'm going to go on this wild camping trip, which will include photography. And I've been doing a few excursions where I've been taking less and less photography gear. Tonight is a bigger test because it's going to be photography stuff plus camping gear. Now, the idea is to find out what I need to take and what I don't need to take. And I'll tell you what, that backpack, it's heavy. I'm blessed. I'm a pretty strong guy up top, but you know, I've got these knees and I'm not getting any younger, so it's going to be a bit of a test. I'm not being crazy about this. I'm just going somewhere nice and local that I know well, the Roaches. Okay, let's stop right there. Anyone who's watched any of my videos know that I can change my mind on the flip of a coin, and that's exactly what happens here. So later on you will see me not go to the Roaches. I simply drove straight past them because I got it in my head that tonight was going to be better spent camping a little bit further away from home. But basically, because I was promised fog. Let's carry on. Well, I've reached my spot and it's pretty dark, so other than with the help of a torch, I've got to put this damn tent up. I'm not going to try and film it. We'll save that for another time. So, fingers crossed. See you in a minute. Well, here I am. Not exactly a flattering light, and let me tell you why. I haven't forgotten much that I can tell, not so far. So far, it seems like I've forgotten practically nothing. But there is one thing I forgot, and that's my light. I've got a nifty little light, and I didn't bring it. I had it ready, I just didn't pop it in the bag. And in all fairness, it came at the end when I was really struggling to find space for stuff. My first time in this tent, I can't show it you because I've got no light, but it's a good size. I mean, it's perfect for me in size, but the way, I don't know, the way it fastens outside does not instill me with confidence. I think a good breeze will put this into the next county. So I'm going to take a look at it in the morning light just to see where I went wrong, but I think I put it together pretty well. So I was going to show you a load of stuff. It's not going to be a gear review as such, but I wanted to show you what gear I'd packed, how I'd packed the bag, that kind of thing. And it's now 10 past 10. I'm going to have to get up at 5 to put the tent away. And, you know, I'm kind of hoping there's going to be fog outside. There's no guarantee, absolutely no guarantee. And I can make a very swift exit from where I am to get to somewhere where there will be fog. But if I get it here, you know, close to Padley Gorge, that would be terrific. So I could get some to eat. I've got my little jet boil with me, and I've got a massive bag of food. And it just, I feel it's a lot of weight I carry. Too much, actually. I'm going to say it, macho aside, it was too much weight. And I wouldn't have got, this was a very short walk. I wouldn't have got very far with this pack, not with my state. So I'm gonna have a bite to eat anyway, and just concentrate on the photography tomorrow. So I hope you like this light. All I've done is I've got my torch suspended from the ceiling. Look, I'm gonna eat some crappy food, and I'm gonna get my head down ready for the morning. So see you soon.
Many hours later.
Good morning, 5 a.m. Oh. Tent looks good, dry. I've been plenty warm enough. It hasn't been super warm out there, so yeah, everything looks good. I'm gonna get some food though now for sure. I'm hungry. Because I didn't cook last night, I just went straight to sleep. It's a bit lighter, but we're away off sun up yet, so let's see what it's like outside. No fog, but beautiful. Coffee, 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 coffee. Well, I consider what I've done this evening, this morning, as a bit of fun, a bit of practice, and so it's not normal that I bring a cast iron frying pan. I like to think I cook a pretty mean breakfast, and it's all about cooking time. So got my pan on my jet boil, got the little adapter thing. I'm going to put the sausages in first, then I'm going to add some onions, red peppers and mushrooms, why not, some bacon, of course. So sorry vegans, one day maybe I'll get there with you, but it's not this day. Quick tip on the culinary side of things, I've left these sausages big as they are because they're aesthetic reasons, really. If you want to cook things faster, make them smaller. These are really thick sausages. If time's of the essence, get thin sausages or cut them in half, and then you'll find they cook through much faster. It's the same. I've done a bag of I think I mentioned I got onions and peppers and mushrooms. I've chopped them all. There's no big mushrooms in there because they're going to cook a lot faster. Make sure you got some wipes, obviously for various sanitary reasons, but if you're messing with food and that kind of thing, you're going to get your fingers greasy, and you don't need that all over your camera. So always have some wipes with you. I get all my rubbish in a little bag, like a little plastic bag or a doggy bag even, and then I put it into my carrier bag when I'm finished, and then the carrier bag gets stuffed into my pack when I'm done. I know what you're thinking, all that lovely frying food, but I bet he wishes he'd bought some beans. Au contraire, double bagged beans. Now, unlike the guys you see on the YouTube channels that do all the wild camping, I'm not here to rough it. I'm here for convenience, and I want simple pleasures. So next time I come, I want a chair. So I'm going to find somewhere sitting down. This kneeling is for the birds. My knees don't like this. Always on lookout for a way of getting cheaper trail foods and not have to make them myself because I'm lazy. And I saw this. This is from, I think, Morrison's. It's called Merchant Gourmet. There are quite a few. This is Jamaican style grains and pulses, fiery. So I didn't get. I was going to do this last night, and I didn't get a chance, obviously. So I'll maybe try this. I'll try it at home, and I'll cook it in my jet boil and just see, you know, in the little canister in the jet boil, see how it works out. But keep an eye out. I might have more interesting food tips for you. Okay, with a bit of hindsight, I should have bought a plate, and I didn't bring a plate. I did bring, you know, I've got bowls, I've got stuff to eat from, but a breakfast like this, it really deserves a plate, and I didn't bring one. I'll remember that for next time. Right, I'm going to find a nice rock to sit on. I'm going to enjoy my breakfast, and I've got no shortage of rocks, so I'm going to sit here by this millstone and look as the sky changes colour as the sun is coming up. You're welcome. I'm not sponsored by anyone for any purpose at any time or for any reason right now, but if you'd like to sponsor me to try out your plate or your meals especially, yeah, get in touch, come speak to me. You'll find that Eddie's entirely amicable and receptive to lucrative partnership deals. Oh, these sausages are good. Well done, Morrison's. And with my onions and red peppers, mushrooms. Oh my. Now normally I'd be starting. Well, I would have started an hour ago. My drive out here. So the best thing about this, when I said this is for convenience, so I can get here awake and start, you know, as soon as that sun gets where I need it to be. I've already noticed a couple of compositions here, so I think I'm going to do a few shots here and then head down into the gorge. There you go. There's a dog poop bag for all my bits of trash, any excess food, etc. It's all going in here, and then I can just tighten that up and bin it at the first little bin I find. This is a reliable lighter, but it's not long enough for flame. This is if you're going to light, you know, something else like a stick or a taper or whatever. But you can get these that you can charge it with USB with a long stem. So I'm going to get one of them soon. Got my little aeroflow because I like a proper coffee in the morning, and all I've got to do, put the boiling water in, push the plunger down, I get lovely fresh coffee in there, and I've got my little cup, and I can just waltz around this section now with a lovely cup of coffee. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put the tent away. I'll have my coffee while I'm putting the tent away, and then I'm ready to roll. Clean up your pots when you're done. Not so important on a, you know, a stopover, a one night thing, but definitely if you're doing multi-day camping, you're going to want to do this for sure. Doesn't hurt. Just boil up a bit of extra hot water, and again, if you want to be super clean, I'm fussed, I'm not obsessive, but why not take some wipes, just really get in there, get any grit or grime out of it, and then I'm going to give it another splash through with hot water. Bug repellent or whatever the hell it is, I don't know how this stuff works, but it does seem to work. This is just some, it's called Smidge. I got this from Go Outdoors, I think, probably about a couple of years ago actually, but it still works, and it says it's 8-hour waterproof protection. And I've got to say that when I've had this, no bites, and when I haven't, basically I'm breakfast for midges. So it must work. That's the only conclusion I can draw. So just spray some on. You're going to smell like old people for a bit, but you know, better than being a vampiric feast, isn't it? Just trod on my glasses. That's another pair. You know, I normally have my collapsible cup, if you've seen the photography vlogs, but the other day I got one of these Yeti cups from Go Outdoors. It's like 20 quid for this. Now it's really tough, I'm going to give it that. This is tough. I've dropped this already numerous times, of course, and you know, it isn't even scratched. I'm sure it will be, but that's tough. And it definitely, let's pour that in there, keeps my drinks hot. So it's got like a vacuum plunger there, and then what they call a mag something locking, but it's a posh name for something that's just a slide. So they make no claims. In fact, they state this will not stop leakage, that you won't get any leakage around the cup, around the rim, but this will not stop leakage. So it's not for getting thrown around. I mean, that's not the hot point of them anyway. And it's not a flask, but it will aid in keeping your drink hot. Okay, and it really does. It really does do that. So just be wary. These are really good, quite dinky, super strong. So if you're going like one of those people that just throw stuff all over the place like I do, this is probably going to be good. And the reason I got it is because I'm a slave to taste, and as much as my collapsible cup is really practical, it's rubber, and I just always remember that when I'm drinking out of a rubber cup. This just gives, I mean, it's not bone china, maybe next, but this just makes, I don't know, it makes my drinks just taste that little bit better. So this is Yeti. I'm sure there's going to be stuff as good as this, cheaper. It's just as I was there and I had a credit card, so I got it. And if you're wondering why I'm scratching there, I think something bit me. So much for my spray. Actually, it might not be. I did shave, and I think I nicked myself about there. Anyway, there you go. Probably oversharing. Now this is pretty much perfect weather for camping. So I've been able, perhaps, get away with being quite relaxed about things. But one thing I'll tell you is this is the worst part of it for me. I hate packing down. I hate it. So because I'm not going to be doing any more camping, because all I've got to do is get that into my bag and get home, I'll just drop it all down, stick the poles in the bag, and I will stuff the rest of it into my bag. As long as I can fit all my other crap in, which shouldn't be a problem. I left room that won't be an issue. Just a quick note, when you're taking down, always look out for slugs and snails and that kind of thing, because nobody needs that sliding around the house. But yeah, just drop it down and stuff it in your backpack. It doesn't hurt. Other than my bits, which have to be strategically packed, I'm pretty much done. So I'm going to go on my trek, which you'll see in a different video. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's been very light, of course, and this is a tester. I just want to see if you'd like to see more, if you want to see how I present these things, if you're interested in the gear that I use and that I'm going to test out, because I basically want to overhaul all of this and do more wild camping, not for the sake of wild camping, however, but for photography, to get to places where driving to them in the morning just isn't practical, even with the the onset of winter. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, and I'm going to get us away and again on a bit of a photographic expedition, and I will see you all soon. Make sure to leave no trace, and that way everybody's happy, and we can all keep enjoying this. It's been really good.